Hello, folks. Good afternoon. This is Will Castello here, CEO and founder of Triad Cyber Solutions. Hey, we got a great one here today, continuing our series and as I Lunch and Learn series, episode 9, part 4, talking about how to secure your business hardware and software. It's very, very imperative that you do that. One of the reasons why, because you never know when you're going to be down. And if you're not updating and keeping up with your hardware or your software, guess what? A couple things. You can be out of compliance, things may not work right, and most importantly, your day is going to be a bad day. So let's go ahead and get started with our series here. We got a couple people here today that's joining us with my team. I have my team here. I have Chantel Allwood. She's my VP of Client Relations. She's the person you're going to talk to in case you have any issues at all. Then we have Wasim. He's our network technician, senior network technician. We have Ralph. He's our marketing coordinator. He handles all the graphics and all the great stuff you see right now on the screen. And then we have some newcomers. I have a new account representative. Her name is Sandra. And I also have another representative. Her name is Pauline. And together, we as a team help collectively make sure that things are safe and sound. And anytime you have any hardware or software issues, they can be brought to us, to our team, and we can help facilitate those to you. So let's go ahead and get right on into this thing right now, hot and heavy, because I'm excited. And if you're as excited as I am, I'm ready to get this thing going because this is very, very powerful. Okay. So let's go on here. We're talking about securing your business hardware and software, your devices. What does that mean? Well, when we're securing the hardware is everything like your computer, your keyboard, your mouse, webcams, things like that, right? So those are those things. Then we're talking about computers. We all work on computers every single day. And I know that some of us has witnessed this. Have you ever came into your day to start your day and you try to log into your PC and it's got updates, right? And it's doing a bunch of updates. And before you can even get started, you see that screen that's scrolling and it's only at 2% or 3%, right? So that's part of the hardware and software. Your hardware is your PC, but the software is also rolling in, collecting those updates. And sometimes you got to do those in a timely manner, right? So that's what we mean. So hardware, again, is something tangible. It's like your keyboard, your mouse, your monitor, your PC. And then the software is like Windows updates, or like QuickBooks or Drake software, okay, or Peachtree or Quicken. Those are the pieces of software. Now, how do we stay secure? How do we make sure your devices are secure? Well, the number one thing is we have to have user access controls. With those user access controls, that comes to play like MFA. You have to have a PIN, a login, a password. Those things need to be changed. We also got to make sure that your network is secure. What I mean by your network, your firewalls, making sure your antivirus, all your other softwares, your patches, all those pieces, that's all part of the networking area. So you want to make sure those pieces are protected and up to date. And then the last thing was your patch management. I just talked about updates. You want to make sure you receive all the proper updates in a timely manner. This can mean a world of trouble for you if you don't, because if you miss an update or an update that should have happened, didn't happen, it can make things a lot worse for you. Also, we're going to make sure we don't have corrupted updates. So where sometimes corrupted updates happen when an update happens, and maybe you're supposed to let's say your PC is supposed to update 1, 2, and 3, right? So part 1, 2, and 3, but instead it skips 1, 2, and 3, and it goes to 4, 5, 6. Sometimes that can cause a corruption because it didn't get those updates in line. So when it didn't get those updates in line, it can cause a lot of issues. So number one, again, make sure we have user access controls where no anyone can just get into your PC. And then we gotta make sure those things are being changed and updated on a regular basis. We need to make sure your network and firewalls are secure again. Okay. Well, now how do we secure them? You're talking about how do we secure them? I just talked about it. We're doing encryption. We do network encryption, device encryption, making sure in case your PC does go down or even in theft. If someone steals your PC, your documents and your folders, your information is locked down. Okay. Data encryption. Do you have data encryption currently right now in your operating system, in your PC? If you don't, you definitely need to give us a call and we can help facilitate that for you. Also, looking at securing devices is disabling USB ports. A lot of people still work off of flash drives. Working off of flash drives, I can tell you, is a major, sometimes compliance issue. And when it comes to compliance, we have that issue locked down as well for you. Sometimes these flash drives can make your life not so good because it's not encrypted. It gets lost. Maybe the flash drive gets lost and it's open. So all somebody has to do is just find that flash drive, take it, plug it in a machine. They steal all your information. Not a good thing. So we got to lock it down. The next thing is just making sure you lock your devices in secure locations. A lot of us have server rooms. A lot of us have network rooms or file rooms. Are those rooms locked down? Does those rooms have security surveillance? Again, I can go on and on and on with the list. Okay. Now, here we are, just going over a recap. Okay. What happens when you don't secure your business hardware and software? A lot of things. When I talked about people stealing your information, you got data breaches. You got financial loss because now with the data breach, you have to report it. And when you report it, now you're going to be losing money because now instead of you concentrating on working in your business, now you're trying to work to solidify, you're trying to work to recover your business. That's a problem. So now you're going to have financial loss. You're also going to have financial loss when you start having lawsuits because when your information gets stolen, right, and then it gets taken out there in the blue or out in the dark web, now you have to face the regulatory compliance guidelines. And when you do, there are guidelines there that you have to protect your clients, your customers. And when you don't have secure processes in place to secure your business hardware and your software, it ends up being a major financial loss, major downtime, and operational downtime. And with that being said, it can have a lot of legal penalties. I mean, you name it, it just keeps going. So just like a volcano, when we see a volcano, the volcano starts to build up. You start feeling the rumble, the vibrations, then it starts to come up, and then it eventually starts to erupt. This is what happens when you don't secure your business hardware and software properly. And the last thing, you're going to have reputational damages where you were maybe the premier dental office or the premier CPA in town. You got a lot of people. Now your clients, your customers, your peers, all of your people you work with, you're collaborative with, now they're going to know at face value, hey, you know what? You didn't secure your business enough. Now my stuff is being affected. How do you feel? How would you feel if you were doing business for someone and they come up and say, you know what? I just found out you got hacked and all my stuff is compromised. How do I know my stuff is not compromised? How can you, once that hit the news, how can you bounce back from that? It's very hard. And to be honest, a lot of people end up shutting down 6 months later because after you go through the stress of one, trying to figure out how to get your stuff back, that's one. You're trying to figure out how to get everything back and up and running. But when you don't, then you got to figure out, you got all the higher up stuff. You got to communicate to the federal government, to the state. You got to report this stuff, and you have an obligation to report it. And if you don't, there are other serious fines that can also be applied to you. But there's so many things that can happen that can mess with this whole process just by not securing your hardware and your software. So I tell you this, where we go from here. The thing is, let's go ahead and schedule a discovery call. This is the next thing we need to do. Think about where you are. Let's schedule that discovery call to say, you know what? What does my process look like? Where am I right now? Am I happy where things are? What are my pain points? What's bothering me? I know the internet keeps going in and out. I know some of us is on hard line, some of us is on wireless. Why can't we all be the same? Sometimes we can print, sometimes we can't print. Our scanner goes down. All of those IT issues we can help and assist you with. But what we really need to do first is, when we're going to look at this, is gather all those thoughts, right? Now, after you gather all those thoughts, here's a QR code that's sitting right here in front of you. Scan that QR code, that QR code, and let's schedule a discovery call, and let's see how we can help you deal with those pain points, right? Your PC is moving slow. You have an IT guy, and you're just not happy with him or her, right? So if you have an IT guy, hey, if you want to just test and see what the IT person is doing or to make sure everything is good, give us a call. Give us a call. And let's schedule a first-time appointment with us. You'll be speaking with me, Will, and I'll be able to sit down and let's get to know each other. Let's get to know, I would like to get to know you and your processes and just how things are going for you, okay? And then, again, if we're not a good fit, at least you know the groundwork of how to secure your business and your software. But we're always here. So I just hope today that you do not leave this session without scanning this QR code, okay? Do not leave this session today without scanning this QR code so we can go ahead and start rectifying things. Look, you folks, we're almost towards the end of the year. That's another thing. We're almost towards the end of the year where we can go ahead and figure out and get a whole lot of stuff fixed before the new year. This is September. We're at the end of September. October is next week. October is next week. That's 3 months. We're nearly 3 months away from 2024 being wrapped up and tossed to the side. 2025 is knocking on our door. What are you doing to prep and prepare for 2025? Well, guess what, folks? I enjoy being here with you, and I appreciate you sharing your lunch with us here today. If you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat, okay? 1, 2, email us. You can also email us, or most importantly, scan this QR code, okay? Scan this QR code, and let's get scheduled. Here's our information right here as well. And that's sales@triadcybersolutions.com. And here's our phone number. Let's get this done. Okay. Here's our QR code. Here's our email. And there's our website. You can go to our website also and look at the services that we provide. And again, providing the IT and cybersecurity coverage for you is imperative. And I know a lot of you do not have these things in place, or we need to update. I'm going to throw one more thing at you. Have you checked your cyber liability insurance today? or this year. It's time. It's time to look at your policy and check that. You need to check your business policy because a lot of you feel like you have it. Check your business policy because this is what happens. If you get a claim, you get hit, and now you try to file a claim for hardware damage or software damage. Guess what? You want to make sure that your liability coverage will cover that, right? Now, I looked at someone's coverage a couple of weeks ago, and it basically says they're not responsible to cover anything, any theft, any type of breach, any kind of hacking, nothing. And I was like, whoa, so they got a policy here that they thought they were being covered and they don't. If you need help with your policy, we are not licensed insurance agents. I repeat, we are not licensed insurance agents. I do not write policies, but what I can do is look at it. I can offer you my counsel to just make sure you have what you need to have. And again, I can help you with that. I can also offer referrals. But again, folks, thanks again for joining us on our Lunch and Learn today about how to secure your business and hardware and software. We'll be back here in about 2 weeks or so to talk about our next session. I can't wait to see you. See you then. Thank you. Bye-bye.